Hey guys, thank you for watching the SlatRock channel. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and that bell icon so you don't miss a single new video. Now, today we're going to talk to you about 56 current WWE wrestlers who haven't competed in a while. Now, WWE may be the biggest wrestling promotion in the world with an unmatched checkbook, but that doesn't mean everything is fine in the McMahon-led promotion. Despite having some of the world's greatest talents, many go underutilized for a variety of reasons. There are some stars, like The Big Show, who are semi-retired, and after nearly 25 years in the industry, you can't blame the 7-footer. While Aiden English has seemingly hung up his boots for good and is now working as a commentator on 205 Live. In WWE's defense, out of the 56 superstars on this list, 7 are dealing with injuries, namely Jeff Hardy, Ronda Rousey, Sin Cara, Akam, Fandango, Ruby Riott, and Nia Jax. While some of these stars' absences may not have been noticed by some fans, the disappearance of top stars like Rousey, who suffered a hand injury in the women's main event at WrestleMania 35, and Jeff Hardy's absence have definitely been spotted by fans. Many fans can't help but notice Nia Jax being missing as well, as the concussion she gave Becky Lynch in late 2018 turned the heavyweight into one of Raw's most despised stars, though with 2 torn ACL, it may be several more months before we see her again. Jeff's injury has also had huge ramifications for his brother Matt Hardy, as the pair had to forfeit the SmackDown tag titles because of Jeff's knee injury at the hands of Lars Sullivan. And Akam's leg injury suffered in January has similarly put his tag team partner Rezar's career on hold too. Other tag teams that have suffered include the Viking Raiders, who after several name changes have done very little on the main roster since their last TV match on May 6th. The Ascension, who have always struggled, as well as Kairi Sane, who was called up as part of the Kabuki Warriors with Asuka, also having their last match together on May 14th. Another tag team that has done little despite being called up is Heavy Machinery, who have quickly fell into obscurity not long after being brought up from NXT. Though the pair make the odd appearance, this means very little when they have no matches, with their last match being the Andre the Giant Battle Royal. Perhaps the worst tag team to suffer though is Hawkins and Ryder, who despite capturing the Raw tag titles at WrestleMania 35 are still struggling to find any in-ring time since their last aired match on May 6th, much like when the pair were jobbers. In fact, many superstars had their last matches at the Show of Shows, as the company needed fodder to fill both the Women's Battle Royal and the Men's Andre the Giant Battle Royal. For the women, stars such as Tamina, Lana, Liv Morgan, Sarah Logan, and Mickie James last saw in-ring action on the Mania pre-show, a real shame considering the latter's in-ring ability and 6 title reigns in WWE. Though she may not have held gold in WWE for nearly a decade, James is doing better than Sasha Banks, who hasn't been seen on WWE TV at all since her alleged backstage incident at the Show of Shows. Reportedly threatening to quit the company after being told that she and Bayley would be losing the women's tag team titles, the boss's future in WWE is in great jeopardy, and the fact that she's not appeared on TV or live events is a worrying sign. It makes sense that Banks is keeping her status with WWE a secret, as when Luke Harper requested his release shortly after his last match on the WrestleMania pre-show. After posting about leaving on social media, the company not only denied the request, but according to rumors, added 6 more months to his contract, a spiteful act by the company, who may have no plans for the former Intercontinental Champion, but don't want him to succeed elsewhere. Rhino, a legend in WWE, also recently turned down an offer by WWE, instead opting to be able to wrestle more elsewhere, even for less money, and like many on this list, last saw action on the Mania pre-show. This is a real sign of the state of the WWE at the moment, as the Man-Beast's career is legendary and could easily be a future Hall of Famer. It seems though that being a success at one point won't save you now, as though the WWE Championship may be the richest prize in WWE, that doesn't mean the company will always have something for you. Just ask former champion Jinder Mahal, who held the title for much of 2017 but has done extremely little in recent years. Sheamus, a 4-time WWE World Champion with a combined 394 days as the top dog, also struggles to get screen time these days, as his last televised match took place on April 9th, and rumors circulated that the Irishman may be forced to retire due to injuries. Though some stars have been given TV time, the lack of matches they have had definitely hurt their characters in the long run. Xavier Woods and Big E, for example, are highly popular stars, but have recently worked more so as the sidekicks to WWE Champion Kofi Kingston, but this has come at the expense of their own development. Similarly, Zelina Vega has done little to no wrestling since being called up to the main roster from NXT, instead opting to be a manager for Andrade. To be fair to WWE though, there are some superstars who haven't exactly helped their chances for getting booked on TV, usually for their controversial actions outside of the ring. Recently, a series of offensive posts made by Lars Sullivan were unearthed, and though the majority were from before Sullivan was part of WWE, a handful were made while he was signed. These posts caused mass backlash from fans, as WWE were forced to give Sullivan sensitivity training, and when you include that he was partly responsible for Jeff Hardy's knee injury, it's not surprising why WWE are hesitant to pull the trigger. Lio Rush may claim to be the man of the hour, but reports of backstage heat have definitely not helped the former independent star, who hasn't been in in-ring competition on TV in months. And though injuries, backstage disputes, poor behavior, and career changes can justify why certain wrestlers haven't been used, the truth for many wrestlers on the roster is that WWE simply has nothing for them. In NXT, stars like Apollo Crews and former champion Alistair Black dominated the developmental brand, putting on entertaining matches on a weekly basis while both men struggle for any in-ring time on the main roster, with Black instead having various backstage segments. A real shame when you consider just how popular Black was in NXT and on the Indies where he competed as Tommy End. His unique look and incredible wrestling talent is a gift that, sadly, WWE is wasting. In fact, there are even stables of people being underutilized by the company, as the Lucha House Party haven't seen action since the May 6th edition of Raw, despite Gran Metalik, Kalisto, and Lince Dorado all appearing regularly on the program. After being used as part of Sanity on SmackDown Live, many fans hoped that a move to NXT would be ideal for Killian Dane, though he is yet to appear on the show. It seems no one is safe from WWE losing interest in them, as despite being a hugely popular star, a two-time NXT champion, and a former Royal Rumble winner, Shinsuke Nakamura, who last saw action on the April 23rd edition of SmackDown, is currently without a story, as rumors circulate that he's only in WWE because his family enjoys living in Florida. Veterans of the company aren't treated much better, as Shelton Benjamin, Alicia Fox, Primo, and Epico can all boast over a decade on the company's payroll, but haven't had any noteworthy matches in recent years. There are some who have gotten lucky though, such as Dolph Ziggler, who recently returned to WWE to challenge Kofi Kingston, though his comeback has been overshadowed by reports that the only reason he's challenging the New Day star for the gold is because Kevin Owens refused to compete at Super Showdown. It looks like there's no answer on how to guarantee yourself a consistent role, as second and third generation superstars like Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas, both of whom last saw action on the April 30th SmackDown, have also been underused, despite having family ties to the company. At least Bray Wyatt is faring better than his brother Bo thanks to his recent Firefly Funhouse segments, though who knows if or when WWE will lose interest in the character once again, just like Rusev, whose start-stop pushes have taken a toll on even his loyalist of fans. Being an exceptional in-ring technician also doesn't seem to be the answer either, as Chad Gable, a legitimate athlete who competed in the US Olympic team at London 2012, also hasn't had any story or direction since splitting with Robert Roode, with his last match being on the April 15th Raw when he teamed with the Glorious One. If you want to see how quickly WWE can drop a superstar though, look at Buddy Murphy, who carried the 205 Live brand as Cruiserweight champion for months, but since losing the title, has disappeared, not having any matches on SmackDown Live despite being moved to the Blue brand during the Superstar shakeup. This isn't too different to Heath Slater in 2016, who was the only person undrafted in the brand extension, got the entire WWE universe on his side to become one half of the inaugural SmackDown Tag Team Champions, only to lose the gold and all relevance just months later. In the past, fans have been able to argue that WWE was planning something secret for unused wrestlers behind closed doors, but in this age of social media, where news is broken all day long, this doesn't seem to be the case. The recent wildcard ruling implies that we will see more of the same talent on both Raw and SmackDown, as more and more talented wrestlers begin to fall through the cracks. And with the rise of AEW in recent months, the prospect of cutting talent is becoming more undesirable. And though the new 24/7 title will give some of these stars something to do, it'll be interesting to see how WWE tries to correct this stacked roster in the long run. Well guys, thank you for checking out this video. We did something a little bit different this time. Let us know what you think down in the comments below. Also check out our previous video, 14 occasions where things horribly went wrong with a live mic in the world of professional wrestling. Also check out our other high-rated videos by clicking at the upper right-hand corner or down in the description field. If you like this video, don't forget to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button and the bell icon so you don't miss a single new video. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and as always, thank you for watching.